Hello and welcome back to The Road to Good Cooking, and if you're looking for a good keto-friendly bread, stop right here and check out this cloud bread recipe. It is absolutely delicious and you can eat it guilt-free. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now let's get started. For this recipe, I'm going to be using 8 ounces of cream cheese, and make sure your cream cheese is softened. 3 large eggs that I'm going to separate the yolks from the white. I'm going to be using ground psyllium husk powder that you can find in your local grocery store, salt, and baking powder. I use this really cool little egg separator. It just kind of clamps on the side of the bowl there. Crack the egg, drop it in there, and it separates the yolk from the white. It's really neat. One of my favorite kitchen gadgets. But then I say that about all of my kitchen gadgets, don't I? And you have to shake it a little bit to get the yolk out. I'm going to shake it, keep shaking it, and there's my yolk, and then put it in the other bowl, and I'm going to continue on. My eggs are separated. Now on to the next step. For this recipe, I'm going to be using my stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer if that's what you have, or you can whip your egg whites up the old-fashioned way by hand. I don't think you want to do that, do you? I'm going to add the egg whites to my mixing bowl along with the salt. I'm going to whip my egg whites until they form stiff peaks. Here I'm whipping up the egg yolks, and I'm going to add it to the softened cream cheese. I'm adding the psyllium husk, and I'm going to add another little dash. I'm adding the baking powder. And mix it all up together. And remember I told you to have your cream cheese room temperature? Well, I didn't follow my own rule, and I got up late, so I forgot to take the cream cheese out so it can soften, so I'm really having to fight with it to get it all mixed up. But if you have your cream cheese sitting on the counter and let it come up to room temp, it'll be a lot easier for you to mix up. It eventually came together, but it took a minute. And I think next time I'm going to mix it up with my mixer. That way I can get it a little bit more incorporated and break some of the lumps down, because I had a few lumps in it, but that's okay because they, it baked out. So it's now coming together and it's a little bit easier to handle. My egg yolk mixture is coming together, and you can check out the egg whites. They're forming nice stiff peaks, so I should be turning off the mixer here in just a second and going on to the next step. My egg whites are done, and as you can see, they're nice and stiff. And if it stays on your spatula like this, you're good to go. All right, now here is the part that I think it really doesn't make any difference if you fold that egg yolk mixture into the whites or mix it with the mixer. And I did do what I said I was going to do. The next batch after this one, I took the egg yolk mixture, put it in with the egg whites, and just whipped it up a couple of seconds with the mixer. And it incorporated it so much faster, so much easier. And it didn't take any of the air out, which is why you fluff up the eggs like that, is to make the cloud bread kind of light and airy. And it was still airy, the batch that I made this morning. So this kind of worked my nerves, because I started off, incorporating it nice and gently like you're supposed to fold it in. But that egg and cream cheese mixture is really heavy. So towards the end, you'll see where I was getting a little overzealous with my folding, and I just start mixing it up. So I thought to myself, Miss J, if you're going to beat it like that, why don't you just put it in the mixer and be done with it? And yeah, it it was working my nerves toward the end, but I just, I eventually got it together, got it folded in there, and I will be mixing it in my mixer from now on. Bottom line, there it is. I'm using a 1/4 cup to scoop out the mixture, and this will make nice uniform sizes. And I'm putting the mixture on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper, and from here it's going in a 300-degree oven, and I'll probably cook it for 25-30 minutes, or just keep an eye on it depending on how your oven cooks, and I'll cook them until they're golden brown and delicious. And here's the finished product. Look at those. Like I said, they baked up golden brown and delicious, nice and crispy on the outside and soft and airy on the inside. And here's my lunch that I made that day. This little burger was made with 1/4 cup of ground beef. I fried it so it was nice and juicy, topped it with some sauteed onions, and I dressed my cloud bread out with half a tablespoon of mayo and green leaf lettuce, and it was absolutely delicious. I have some tomatoes on the side that you can't see there, and I will be making this over and over and over again. And yes, it was keto friendly. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to spend with me to see what I'm up to. And I'm sure I will be bringing you lots more keto-friendly meals and recipes, so please stop by anytime. Share my link with everybody you know in the universe. Leave me a comment if you wish, and check out this recipe that I cooked the next day. I made myself a bacon and egg keto-friendly sandwich topped with fresh spinach leaves. I had 1/4 cup of cantaloupe there, 1/4 cup of pineapple chunks packed in its own juices. Look at the crispy cloud bread. Oh, it was absolutely delicious. I could not eat this sandwich fast enough. And I also had some coffee and a glass of orange juice, and I was thoroughly satisfied with this meal. Thank you for stopping by. Be blessed and keep on cooking.